Hey guys, my name's Beckett. Welcome to the channel. We're going to be covering all the latest Tarkov news, massive bannings, cheaters, real money traders. We're also going to be going over all the important details of the podcast and the recent patch. So stick around and we're going to get through all of that. So let's get into all the important information that was on the last podcast. So recently we just saw a reserve update, Underground. It looks awesome. The next step that they're going to do for map design is customs, expand it, which is awesome. It's probably one of my favorite maps. It's one of the most balanced and well-designed maps, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of the open forest areas. I kind of hate getting sniped on woods or shoreline. I really love customs because it's got a lot of mid to long range engagements. You have fighting inside buildings, and you have a lot of sight lines where you can do a lot of sniping if that's your thing. There's also a lot of rat holes if you know where to go. What I'm assuming is they're going to open up the admin gate area. As you can see, there's already buildings in place, and I wouldn't be surprised if they opened up Warehouse 4. Just give us a little more options, just make the map a little bigger. I would love to see more buildings open up and just have that close combat. I love it. It's intense, and it's always fun. Nikita was also asked if the game was going to get more intense, more hardcore, more realism, and the answer is yes. Sorry, guys, it's not going any more casual. As long as the T9000s don't come back, if anybody remembers early patches, it was a little insane. Also, with the Val and the VSS pretty much getting nerfed into the ground, which was a good change. I don't want weapons like that to be the meta for so long, especially they can be very hard to obtain. If you're not a no-lifer, or let's say you start 3-4 weeks in the middle of a wipe, it can be really discouraging for new players and just people coming back like me. Sometimes I'll sit out a couple wipes and then I'll come back, and sometimes I come back late. And when you just have pistols and AK-74s, which is still my go-to weapon, Old Faithful, but it can be a little daunting, and I could not only imagine what new players feel like. They probably just quit and be like, oh, this is too much for me. I can't handle this. We have a whole lot of new guns. They released pictures of new weapons they're working on the Instagram as well as on their Twitter. And they also mentioned that they're going to be bringing in a whole lot of new mods in the upcoming patches. Right now, the game currently has about 1,000 weapon mods. And Nikita was saying that they're pushing for about 3,000. So about triple what we got. So Nikita, please double everyone's stash, EOD or not. We all need it. Last couple of things I want to get into before we get into the buffs, nerfs, banning is Streets of Tarkov. What they said is it's going to be more like Reserve, where we're not actually going to be on the streets. We'll be in the buildings, the basements of buildings, and then we'll go underground to get to different buildings, which might actually be a good thing, but we'll just have to wait and see. It's definitely going to cause a lot of players to come in contact with each other, which is never a bad thing. And wipe. When is it coming? It's definitely not coming 12.7, 12.8, 12.9. It probably won't even come till 13.0, but they'll also be bringing in a new Unity 2019 engine, which the game is going to sparkle. Hopefully it'll be more stable for people with lower end PCs. So that's pretty much it for the podcast. So let's get into the buffs and nerfs. So they introduced a huge buff in the last patch to all loot, about 30%. So I don't think that's 30% on top of whatever it was. So if we look back at the podcast, Nikita said it was about 10 to 60% chance of rare items spawning. So don't expect it to go to all the way to 90. I would expect is it going from like 30% to like 70%. So 20% probably on the low end and 10% on the high end. We'll just have to see. RNG is RNG. Anyone who's played an MMO or MMO based game knows how it rolls. So they lowered flea market prices, so it won't be that bad to put things on flea market, but that kind of goes in with the banning, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. They also upped the skill progression by 20%, so it's still going to be a pain to level up strength, but in the podcast, he did mention that they're going to be reworking all the skills in an upcoming patch, so hopefully it'll be easier, and it's not going to be cheese, so we don't lose all our skills in a soft reset, but he did mention there will be a soft wipe sometime during this wipe, about halfway through, so we can expect that and just lose all our skills, but we're not going to lose any of our loot. So we'll just have to deal with the new system, and hopefully it'll be a better system, and we don't have to throw a million grenades just to get to level 3 in strength. Mosin also received a nerf. I guess all the streamers crying finally got their way. My thing is, it is pretty overpowered when I can take someone out with 4 armor and just 3 shots, but it's kind of a risk reward. It's both action, and if you miss your shots, you're dead. But if you hit them, like I said, it should be that way. I think you should be rewarded with a bolt action rifle. If you nail your shots, they should go down like that. Armor isn't supposed to be a invincibility shield. It's just supposed to protect you from a few shots. This is intended to be a realistic shooter. So enough of that. Let's get into the banning. So real money traders are getting banned. And they also said if you bought any real money, expect to get banned. And I totally agree with this. This is the best thing they can do. Anyone who's been playing this game long enough knows how bad the hacking is. It's not even as bad as it was. Go back before BattleEye, like 0.6, 0.7. If you played in the alpha or early beta, it was rough. So it's gotten a lot better than it was. But these real money traders, how do you think they're getting all that money to sell all that? You think they're just going in, oh, I hope I make it to the raid? No, they're definitely using hacks. They've already told us that they fix radar hacks. So if you're one of the people who are buying money with real money traders and you have an edge of darkness and your account gets banned, I really don't feel sorry for you because you were just perpetuating the hacking and making it even worse. You were keeping the money going to them, so why would they stop hacking? With them attacking all these hackers, 400 people got banned and more people who bought it are going to get banned. But I've also heard a problem where people are getting banned who just looted items. So we'll see if that's a thing or they were just actually buying it and they didn't want to admit it on Reddit. So if anything else comes out about Tarkov, I'll let you guys know. Hopefully you don't get banned. Don't buy rubles from real money websites or you're going to lose your account. And we'll see you next time.